For joining our meeting today. And before we begin, may we please have the roll call?
Yes. Robert Brody,
Yes, present.
Alex Chen,
Present.
James Efting,
Present.
Michael Iseri,
Present.
Paul Kramer,
Present.
Bethany Pick.
Present.
We have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. So as noted on the agenda for today's meeting, public comments during the meeting will be limited. Members of the public wishing to comment were encouraged to submit written comments prior to the meeting to ensure that the committee would have time to consider these comments. So we thank you for that. We're going to attempt to call members of the public in the order that they appear. Due to the number of people requesting to make public comments, we ask that, actually, Ms. Wong, do you know how many people are asking to speak?
Yes, at the moment, only 2 have raised their hand. Oh, actually 3.
Okay. Before I start limiting the amount of time for the comments, to facilitate hearing as many members of the public as possible, please do not repeat points that were made by previous speakers, and also to allow the committee the time needed to deliberate on the important topics that it will be discussing today. We will not be hearing more than a maximum of 15 minutes of total public comments. Right now, since we have 3 speakers, the comments will be limited to 2 minutes. If anything changes, time may change as well. For those of you who are participating via Zoom video, you should have a function for virtually raising your hand. It's a hand icon and should appear at the bottom center of your screen. If you wish to make a public comment, please click on that. And for those of you who are participating by phone, you may virtually raise your hand by pressing *9. That's the star key, then the number 9. The coordinator will call members of the public in the order that they identify raised hands and will enable the microphones of the speakers. And we will begin with public comments.
Yes, so I will call on those who have raised your hand that you would like to give a comment. When your name is called, you will be given 2 minutes to make your comment. I will indicate when you have 30 seconds left. Please begin wrapping up your comments then. I will first call Benjamin Cohn. Go ahead, Mr. Cohn.
Thank you. I'm at the moment, since you're planning the February 2021 bar exam for this meeting, I wanted to ask you to please consider the effects of shelter in places were we to be in a shelter in place, or the potential that we will be in a shelter in place either at the state or local level, or any nationwide one that may have to wait until January 20th to begin, regardless of how well we may be doing with what we're doing right now. And so if there were to be a smaller number of people taking the exam in person, that may need to be reviewed as to whether that could still happen if there was to be a shelter in place in effect late February, and what would be the contingency if not. If it were to still have it to be there may be higher case numbers, and the COVID-19 protocols may need to be different than they were in October, including testing proctors. So that is really all I have as far as the February 2021 exam. I hope you've all seen my written comments by now, and that's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cohn. The next person is by the name of GN.
Hello, I'd like to speak to the issue of the fact that the bar exam for October, looks like we won't be getting results until next year. It's my understanding from the last meeting that it's going to take about 16 weeks to grade these exams. And I believe it's going to be coming to an end in terms of the Chapter 6 notice and flagging the remote proctoring. However, I feel this is too long. It is my understanding that when the cutoff score was changed from 1440 to 1390, that this in effect should pass more people, but also that the third read was eliminated and that there should be less people in the second read. And there's also an increase in the number of readers per essay. And part of that has also spoken to whether or not there should be more grades per day per reader. So this needs to be taken into account. I don't think it is acceptable for us to have less than 5 weeks upon failing the exam to study for the February bar. So this really needs to be addressed. And I really hope that this committee and the graders are really prioritizing it. I'm hoping that, under lockdown, they're not commuting or they just can make more time to grade faster. So I really hope this situation is addressed and we find out preferably before Christmas, if not, by the end of the year.
GN, you have 30 seconds.
I'd also like to address really quickly the fact that I like the fact that we are a diverse state and we allow foreign attorneys, but it is sometimes unfair that some of these attorneys can come in without a pre-legal education and are able to just sit the bar. Thank you.
The next person is Sarah Gordon. Go ahead, Ms. Gordon.
Hi. First of all, I really appreciate the efforts of this committee to meet the challenges that have been raised this year by COVID. And I would ask the committee to consider some of the longer term implications on remote work that we're going to be looking at even once the pandemic is over. I know I am an in-house counsel, and one of the requirements for that program is to be a resident of California. And we're now looking at a world in which companies that are based in California will be allowing permanent remote work, which will allow employees to relocate out of state. I am in a position where I cannot relocate out of state and keep my job based on the requirements of the in-house counsel program, the residency requirements. So I would ask the committee to consider perhaps changing those requirements in light of the future of remote work.
Thank you. That's pretty much the end of the public comments, Ms. Chair.
Thank you. And we don't have any other items on agenda for the open session. So committee members, could you please log into the closed session and leave the open session, and we will resume there. After we're done with our closed session, we will come back to open session to adjourn. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
I think we're almost all here, right?
We're missing Judge Brody. And Mr. Efting.
Okay. We'll just wait one more minute.
Yes, please.
I think Jim's in the closed. He just rejoined closed.
Oh. I can text him. Oh,
Yeah, I think we have a quorum
okay.
here.
Thank you. So our meeting business has concluded. Is there any more business that anyone would like to discuss? Seeing and hearing none, meeting is adjourned, and thank you, everybody. This is the last meeting of the year, so see you all next year.
Okay.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Right.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.